Welcome back to the Elise Surkov podcast, where we help women in menopause and perimenopause thrive unapologetically from the inside out. So today I want to talk about something that came up in our community amongst our clients, which is like, why don't I look like her? Why don't I have the same results that she's having? How come I'm eating and doing the same program, the same things, the same foods, and I don't look like that? I don't get it. And so I do want to play or get into the comparison game today because I think it's going to be very helpful for you. Now, back in your 20s or 30s, you might have done some diet hopping with your best friends, right? You're like, let's train Weight Watchers. Let's do, this diet. Let's do that. All the stupid fucking shit we've ever done. It's like misery loves company. We're going to do it together. And it's like together we lost this weight. I cannot tell you how many women come to me now in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and say, I don't get it. My friend did this diet and it worked for her. It just didn't work for me. I don't understand. Like my friend did intermittent fasting. She lost 100 pounds. I fucking gained 10. I don't get it. And I'm like, I understand. It's confusing because you're comparing, but you're not comparing apples to apples. You are comparing apples to oranges because now you're fucking different. Even if in the past you've lost the same amount of weight doing the same program, had the same transformation, it's going to look a little bit different now. So let's look at those variables that are going to take into account like how you're going to lose weight, how fast you're going to lose weight, and what that's going to look like in reshaping your body. So for example, every Sunday, I will share a testimonial, a case study from our clients. And some women have actually said to me, I don't see such a big difference, Lisa. I don't get it. And I'm like, good, because there shouldn't be such a big difference in 3 months. But you also don't see all the work that they're doing in their skin, in their mindset, in their daily habits that are going to make it so that not only did they quote unquote just lose 10 pounds in 3 months, but they're going to keep going and never gain the weight back. People want to see drastic results. They want to see, show me 30 pounds in 30 days. And it's like, wow. And I'm like, that shit just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. So when we look at the variables, we have to remember that your history of dieting is going to determine whatever the fuck you're doing right now and how successful it is. If you've never dieted before, you could do keto, intermittent fasting, the ice cream diet, the cabbage soup diet, whatever the fuck you want diet, you're going to lose weight because your body is so metabolically fit. You've never gained and lost weight. But if you're anything like most of our women, and myself included, chances are in your 20s and 30s and 40s, you've gained and lost a lot of weight. You grew up in diet culture in the 80s and the 90s. This is what we did, right? We lost weight, we gained weight. Every time you lose weight and gain weight, think of it as like a metabolic deficit. You're having a deficit in your metabolism. It's going to be harder to lose weight and easier to gain weight. So it's going to get harder and harder every single time. So that is one big variable to keep in mind is that what have you done in the past? How much stupid shit have you done and how much have you failed at it? Chances are you failed at it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here right now. Okay. So that is first. The second is what are your genetics? So I'm pretty curvy. I'm not thin or skinny no one would ever be like that skinny chick over there. Never in my life has anyone referred to me as the skinny chick. Chances are now you refer to me as the girl that's got curly hair and says fuck a lot. That's what I get, or tattoos. So, and I'm pretty proud as fuck as that. But if you're going to describe me by my body, you're probably going to say I've got a very athletic build, very shapely. I've got a big butt. I've got thick thighs. Like I'm just not a skinny one. So like I could do a diet and I'm not going to get skinny. It's not going to work for me. It's not going to look the same as someone like some of my friends who are very thin builds. They're not going to be able to put on muscle. So if you look at some of my friends, I'm not going to drop names, but you're going to be like, oh, the one there, like with the long legs, right? With the thin build, with the thinner frame, like the small frame. That's her. Like that's her genetics. That's how she was raised. And you know what? Like if she wanted to put on a lot of muscle, it's going to be really fucking hard for her. She probably wouldn't be able to build the way I can build or the way that Karen can build. So number one is what the fuck did you do before? And number two is how are you genetically designed? Some of us have a really hard time losing weight. I will say for me, weight loss is not something that is fast. It's not something that is easy because I'm not a big person and my body does not like being in a deficit and it will resist as much as possible. Okay. But if you are anywhere over the age of 40 or near 40, then chances are you're in perimenopause. You've got insulin resistance working against you as well, which is going to make losing weight even harder. So maybe your friend who's losing weight faster is just not at that same hormonal level as you. All right. That's the third thing. The fourth thing is and I'm going to lose track of these numbers because like brain fog, but the fourth thing is like what's in your backpack. So I like to say like if we all had backpacks that had our shit in it that we carry every day. So like, for example, In my backpack, I have diabetes management 24/7. I've got, my business, my team. I've got my family commitments and responsibilities. I've got my own, habits that I'm trying to break or change, my own boundaries that I'm trying to set. The fact that like I sleep and get injured because my hip is sore because I sleep on one side all the time. That's what's in my backpack. But someone else's backpack, they may not have any kids. And so their backpack looks very different. Their backpack is like, trying to, pay their mortgage every month or, work on their relationship with their partner. It's going to be very, very different. So how I spend my time and how I use my energy is going to be very different than someone else's because that's what's in my backpack. All right. So we tell our ladies in our community, like some women are going to lose weight really quickly, but you don't always see the full story. Nobody unzips everyone's backpack and says, oh, you have a history of yo-yo dieting. Oh, you had breast cancer and you had chemotherapy and you're on medication right now and makes it harder. Oh, you are not a candidate of HRT. So hormones will forever be non-optimal functioning. We've got to work around. Oh, like no one talks like that. We just look at results and say, she got weight loss. Why didn't I? How come she did it and I didn't? Right. And it's really easy to play that game. And then that's the self-hate and self-loathing comes into practice. And you're just like, why isn't this working? Why don't I look like her? And, if we could play that game, I mean, I played that game. If you grew up in the 80s, then you grew up with the magazines of, Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer, Cindy Crawford. And I remember looking at all those supermodels and being like, oh my God, I want those legs. I didn't realize that like at 5'1", I'm never going to have those legs, my tiny little stature. But, I really wanted that. And I was like, I'm going to have that. That's going to be me. I didn't realize like that just wasn't available to me. And I had to really break up with the notion is that like, I'm never going to look like her. I'm never going to look like a supermodel. And that fucking comma is okay because I'm not a supermodel. I'm me. And there's no one out there that is better at me being me than me. So I'm so much easier. And I say this so many times is that like, I suck at being skinny. I really fucking suck at skinny, but I'm so good at being strong. It works for me. So let me double down on that. Right. I've shared many times my transformation over the years where year to year, I don't lose any weight. My weight's exactly the same, but my composition's gotten stronger and I put on muscle. That's really hard to do when you're over the age of 40. And I don't think people really appreciate that is that like, it is really fucking hard to build muscle as a woman. It is hard to build muscle as a woman over 40. And it is hard as fuck to build muscle as a woman over 40 in perimenopause and menopause. So we have to really stay in our lane because it doesn't matter if everyone around you is getting results except for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you getting results when you get them. It doesn't nullify it. You're still getting them when you get them. Your trajectory might look different, and that's okay. You also don't know what's going to happen in the future. So, like, for me, I always say I'm late to the party, but when I arrive, I'll never leave. So like it took me 15 months to lose, 10 to 15 pounds, one full dress size. And a lot of people will argue, well, that's a fucking long time. And I'm like, maybe, but I never gained it back 6 years later. So like, who's winning? Right. So like we have some women in our community who go through the first 3 months not losing 1 pound. And they're like, I don't understand. That person over there lost 20 pounds in 90 days. And I'm like, yes, but if we zoom out over 2 years, that person lost 20 pounds and then nothing for the next year, but kept it off. You didn't lose anything in the first 3 months. Metabolically speaking, you were getting your metabolism prepped and primed to lose weight. And then you lost 40 pounds over the next 2 years. So who's right? Who's wrong? You don't know. Your body just might not be on the same pace. And that's okay. It's like saying, why doesn't my hair look like hers? Well, I mean, if you've ever seen me in real life or you've seen me on the gram or if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see I have curly hair. I hated curly hair when I was a kid. I had to straighten my hair. I made my mother straighten my hair once a week. On Sundays, I straightened my hair. And if I could see a little curl stepping out, like, coming out, I would freak out. I would just freak out. And then eventually, I think it was grade 4 or 6 that I started wearing my hair curly again. And as I was just like, fuck it, this is me. And then even in high school, I would still straighten my hair every day. Not every day. Once in a while, I would straighten my hair and it would be like a shock value. Like, oh my God. And even I straightened my hair often before I had kids. I used to straighten my hair a lot before I had kids because I had the time to do it. And it was like this sleek look and I loved the way it looked and it just felt so much easier. And now I'm like, I don't even remember the last time I straightened my hair because guess what? My hair's fucking curly and it's just, that's me. So I can look at someone's straight hair and be like, oh, she's got such beautiful straight hair. And it's so easy because her hair always looks polished. And I step outside and it's humid out and my hair gets all frizzy and I have to wear a hat and I hate it. And I'm like, this is just fucking me. It's just so much easier to be me than it is trying to be somebody else. So if you're looking on the gram or you're looking at comparison photos and you're like, why don't I look like her? Say, because I'm not her. That's not my path. That's not my journey. And I bet you if you looked at you a year ago and asked yourself, do you want to go back to her? You'd probably say no, because you've done so much work over the last year that you're like, I don't want to fucking go back to her. Even if my weight isn't where I want it to be, I've learned more. I've grown more. I've become more of who I know I'm meant to be. And so I'm not her. So I really want you to think about that today, is stop comparing yourself to other people, to other women. That's not why we're here. We are all physiologically unique. There is no one, like who said it, Dr. Seuss, there is no one more you than you, right? There is no one better at being you than you. So just be fucking you. And your path will come. Now, if you're struggling because you're like, well, they lost weight and they lost weight and they lost weight and I didn't lose weight, and I'm shining a mirror at you and I'm like, because you fucking didn't do anything, because you didn't get out of your own way, because you're still doing shit in the past that didn't work before, then you and I need to have a talk. And I would love to talk to you about how we can help you in our program by shining a mirror and helping you get to that version of you without feeling like you're constantly spinning your wheels. I will leave all the contact information below, but I'd love to hop on a free 10, 15-minute call with you to just chat this out. Let me know below. You can reach me on email, on the gram. You can message me however you want. And of course, if you want to watch this and look at my curly hair, go ahead and watch this on my YouTube channel. Until the next time.